Good evening. First order of business tonight, approval of the minutes of the previous meeting of 4/3/24.
I
Motion
move,
would be in order.
I move they be accepted as written. Second.
Any changes, anything?
No.
None seen? Those in favor? Okay. Thank you, Jim. Selectmen's comments. Tom?
Regarding the resilience grant that we got from last spring or summer we applied for it, we have received one of the deliverables from Brian Carlton, the Town of Woolwich Emergency Management Plan. And this needs to be, well, we need to decide, I guess, what steps to take next with this. There's some blanks that need to be filled in. We need to reach out to a couple of the vendors and suppliers that are named in here to make sure that they're okay being listed as a resource in the event of an emergency. So not a whole lot of work, I don't think, but you should probably take a look at this, Sean.
Yeah, he sent it.
And so I'm not really sure what action. I'll read you the cover
Is
letter.
that something that we keep on hand here? Or?
This is a public document, so it describes what to do in the event of various types of hazardous situations or emergencies.
Okay.
So let's see, Brian comments, the only additions to it would be to add maps and to have the fire chief, all the public works related officials begin to review and update it annually. So, yeah, and so I guess we owe Brian his fee that we agreed with him at some point. I don't know whether we want to review it and then see if we want him to make any corrections or changes or whatever first, or how the board wants to proceed with this.
Is there a final completion deadline or?
The only deadline is what we promised the granting agencies, which we said we would finish this by the end of April. But we also said we would do that mailing with the fridge magnets by the end of January, I think, and we've been holding off on that in case we wanted to add some work to that mailing. So there's no real hard, there's no regulatory deadline. It's just sort of connecting. There was guidance that we gave the granting agency about what we plan to do and when.
Yeah. So what do you how many pages is it?
It's 50 pages or so.
Okay, quite large, right? I was wondering if it was, I mean, Sean already has it, I guess, but was it wise to send it out to whatever?
I'm not really sure who to distribute it to.
Well, I mean, is it when you say public, is it?
Yeah, so I guess we can send it to
Yeah, I think public officials, so I think
So-
us and-
So the select board, the road
Yeah.
commissioner.
fire, EMS, the road
Yeah.
commissioner, what else?
You're already EMA, so that's you.
EMA director.
And
You
then,
should have a copy in our office.
well, I guess I'm just thinking ahead, but if everybody had a copy, kind of looked it all over, got through town meeting,
yeah.
down the road here in a few.
Yeah, after the town meeting, maybe we can deal with it.
Is it worthy of a 1 hour meeting with like prior to a select board meeting or something, or I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody has to figure out what, and does
Yeah.
Brian come to it? Or is-
We might engage the public safety committee. I don't know if that's an appropriate. If we want their advice, we can engage them.
What we can do is we can have a copy printed up to keep on the front counter down here and tell people that it's here if they want to come down and look at it.
Right. I would want to emphasize that this is still a draft until we finish filling in some of the blanks. But
Right, so we gotta do that
put the
first.
word draft on it or something.
That's what I was thinking, was if the public officials had it, some point down the road here in a few weeks, we fill in the blanks,
Yeah.
get it nearer completion, then it's able to be presented to the public or to
Sure.
these other committees, and then, I mean, just keep moving, right?
Right.
Might want to drop a copy off up to, once it's finished, drop a copy off up to the school.
Yeah.
Yes, the school is one of the places that we need to talk to find out their mustering points and things like that. So we
And
do
I
need to.
wonder if it would be wise, we could put a copy down at the post office, but it would probably disappear.
So I guess we don't really need to take any action per se. I'll just distribute copies of this to
Yeah.
everybody, and then
Okay.
we can
My-
plan on taking feedback
Yeah.
maybe over the next month or so.
Yeah, my question, my suggestion about Brian would be is, the grant was written with that information that you just indicated,
Yeah.
right? So the cost and whatever. So if he's, I guess you'd have to ask him, is he willing to do any amendments, or is it done, and does he submit a bill? I know you have it in there as an agreement, but we really, Kim, you'd like to have a bill, right? Just some,
Yes.
just a paper trail.
Yeah, I'm not,
And if you want.
he doesn't say one way or the other. I'm sure if we asked for his help to
Yeah.
complete anything, questions that we have, I'm sure he would.
But I mean, that way we don't let him think we're leaving him hanging on his
Right, yeah, yeah.
compensation or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? It is what it is. And the money's there, that's what it's for, right?
Yeah, we already received the grant money, and
Okay.
half of it's to pay for this, and half of it is to pay for that mailing.
Okay.
So,
Anything else?
that's it.
Dale?
No.
Jason?
So you guys know the signs went up today.
Yep.
The one at the park is up, the one across the street is up. Following up with last month's meeting, Allison did most of this, but she and I have worked on a letter for our concerns to DOT about 127. We've engaged the Dresden Select Board as well, because obviously it starts in Dresden, right? They have this draft. They are going to vote on it at their next meeting next week. I only printed one copy. I can email it to all of you. Tommy's already got it, I guess, by email, but you can read it and think about it. We don't have to do anything tonight with it. It's just about the whole concerns about paving and the time frame and, trying to do something. But anyway.
Do we want to include any exhibits in that, like some pictures, or, I mean, would that
Well,
be
it's an invitation
productive?
to come down, and I don't know what Dresden, what necessarily they're gonna do or whatever, but,
I still think at town meeting, we should ask the public there to, and we should have the proper address available at the town meeting, and ask the public to write letters to DOT.
Yeah,
Because
so-
I think the more response they get,
right.
Oh,
Well, as a follow-up to that, you guys are still planning on sending out, the communication committee is still going to send out a news, something, right?
Yeah, we held off on that mailing.
Yeah, and in that, David, and you can make the announcement at town meeting, or whoever wants to make an announcement at town meeting, I agree. I think that somebody lets the folks know that information will be in the mailer, and it will give
Sure.
the address, or
Yeah.
there was talk about a postcard. It's true, you just
I
gotta
was
keep,
aware of the email.
well, it hasn't gone yet, but it's just a good way to get everybody, even if they don't come.
No.
The only other,
I think the only way we're gonna get them off the ball and get them to do something is if they get enough complaints
yeah,
on it.
I do too, yeah, just keep complaining. I mean, the biggest thing that we wrote in there, and you guys need to correct it, I'm emphatic about the time frame of paving. We've heard all the crap about minor collectors and you gotta come up with money.
Yeah, but-
I don't understand why one road is treated the same as another road when it's heavily
But
used.
if they pave it, they're gonna put 5/8 of an inch
Yeah,
of pavement over it, and it's gonna do nothing. I mean, look at Route 1 out here. The
No.
ruts that were out on Route 1 2 years ago are back now.
I know.
Okay?
I know.
I mean, you put it half an inch or an inch of pavement down,
Yep.
it looks beautiful for 6 months to a couple of years, and then all the cracks that were there before come right back.
Yeah.
And they need to do some major reconstruction on that road, not just give it a, run a roller down there with some black paint and
Yeah.
call it good.
But at the minimum though, they ought to realize though that every road is not the same,
That's right.
But,
That's right.
only a couple other things, Kim, you're probably gonna touch on this, but
Yep.
we've been working on the list of things that,
Yes.
okay, you got that? And then,
Yep.
are you gonna remind, Mike about the meeting Monday? About the meeting next Monday with the moderator?
There's a meeting next Monday?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, we're meeting at 4 o'clock, right? Isn't that what we decided?
Yeah,
To go over the,
The town warrant?
I thought you met with him
We-
on
we-
Sunday.
We did, so we met Sunday morning and started all that, but.
Okay.
But I think we decided, or he thinks anyway, that the last meeting, we agreed to meet at 4 o'clock Monday.
Yep.
Does that-
Okay.
Does that still work?
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Totally-
It doesn't have to take too long.
Monday, okay.
Sunday he showed up while we were working on the cheat sheet there, and I think you guys all got your email copy. And so, we just kind of went down through things, gave him some things to think about, and then whatever final thoughts in the order of whatever presentations we need to do at the town meeting. We've written a lot of things, but obviously it's next week, so.
Okay. Sorry, I totally forgot.
Yeah, no, I just want to make sure that
Forgot about
that's what I understood, but that's it.
Okay.
I'd just like to go over the articles on the warrant
Yep.
and let him know which ones we want first dibs at.
Right. What he did too is he watched last year's complete town meeting. Saw what articles were bundled, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's done a lot of homework, obviously he's done the
Yeah.
training. He's trying, what I don't know, Kim, and you know, is like, are we just doing 1 or 2 extra ballots in case we have a secret ballot vote? I mean, those kinds of, I mean, he's new to some of that, so whatever.
Yeah, we still have to vote on the LD one.
That we can do orally now, right?
Yes.
Not written, but if somebody made a motion to do something like a
Yep.
secret ballot.
But we'll have 2 ballots there just in case or anything.
Right, you have the hand one, right?
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Just some ironing out of things, but,
Okay,
all right, that's it.
that's it. I have nothing. Public comments, Debbie? Town administrator's report, Jim.
Town meeting is next Wednesday, and I would assume that we're gonna close at 5 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock, because
Yeah,
we really don't have anybody to
check people in.
check people in. So 5 o'clock, we will close next Wednesday. The phone came in for Mike. We got a really good deal on it. It's only like $46 a month, which is a really good deal for what we're reimbursed Chris right now, and that's going to be split between the 3 towns, so saving money on that. I got the quote for the laptop, and Matt from Burgess said that it's going to be the same as it is as my laptop, where he can go on and mirror the desktop here, so he can get into Trio and he can look at add building permits or go on and do whatever.
Just amazing, that's all.
Okay, I think you're nodding your head. So I was gonna ask Tommy, because they quoted the laptop at $951. They're putting Microsoft Windows on there with an upgrade of a license for $295, and then the labor is $150 an hour for 3 hours. So the total bottom price is a little over $1,700.
That's a lot of extras.
Yeah, I think the labor is pretty excessive, but
Is that gonna, but Georgetown and Aroustic have to be able to be serviced using that same computer, right? So
I talked to Tyler. They don't even access. They have their own personal laptops. They don't have a desktop computer, so they
Okay.
share laptops. And when I talked to Chris, we're way above Georgetown and Aroustic as far as technology.
So there's no integration issues with?
Nope. So Chris says he has no problem. He thinks it's great that he can come here and access Trio, or he can, he doesn't have it on his laptop, but I think it'll be beneficial to Mike.
Right.
So he can deal with however he wants to with Georgetown and Aroustic. And I'm just gonna have them split the cost of
And what was the
probably the
bottom line
laptop
again?
and the labor. I'm
What was
sorry.
the bottom line again?
$17.95.
So one more time, how much is ours? Well, you just said it, they're gonna split one now?
I'm gonna have them, because we are putting the Trio on there and everything else, I'm gonna have them do the labor and the laptop itself.
Oh, so 450 plus 900 something, right?
Yeah, so that's 13, almost 14, $1,400.
That they'll pay for?
Yeah,
Okay, so it's only $300 or so for us?
yeah.
Well, I'm not arguing with you.
Well, I mean, we'll pay it's split 3 ways. It's 40-40-20.
Yeah. so we've got
Yeah,
to split.
40-40-20. So we're not gonna be paying 17-17. So,
Okay.
but it'd be less. But I do, if you agree with that, then.
That laptop we got was 1,100, I think, all in.
That one there?
That one there, yeah.
Yeah, did it come with Microsoft and all that
Yeah.
on there?
Well, it didn't come with Word and Excel and all that stuff, which we already have a license for that for
Right.
anyone in the town network. But I don't know.
Is this something we can do in-house? I mean, could we set the thing up in-house? Buy just a
That's Dale if he's. Dale.
Doing the mirroring scheme, I think Burgess would have to do that part because they're privy to the way the network is set up.
So
I'd have to get on the server.
if we vote to do that, you have the money to do
Yep.
it with
Yep.
in computer
Split
replacement.
it with.
So we need a motion?
We need a motion on the laptop.
Right. So moved.
Second.
Reluctantly, those in favor?
I think it's overpriced, but
I know. Okay. And then, let's see, I went to First Federal last week, and I closed out all our First Federal accounts. I put them in the designated account for the clock and the cemeteries and Tanner Square. So that money is in there. So those accounts are all closed. The Safety Works, I've gone through and you've done your completion downstairs,
I
correct?
did the
With
work
all
in the cable
violations.
TV room, yeah.
We got the little shock stickers, so Jason went around and put those on everything that needed to be put on there. So we are good to go on that. Sean's probably going to talk about that later on. Opal and Bill Longley are going to be on the safety committee. So, and whoever Sean's going to designate, so whatever that decides to get taken care of, we're good to go on that. And I think
The outlet's done.
Yep.
Do you know
Oh, the
what-
outlet's done too, yes.
Yeah, what else?
And that is all I
In that
have.
room.
Oh, that outlet.
Yeah, we got
Okay.
done Saturday.
All right, road commissioners report, Jack.
Yeah, well, we just basically been cleaning up, patching and grading.
Anybody got
Pretty
any
good
questions?
Had a difficult time with our contractor, but they don't listen good.
Do you remember when they're gonna close the old stage road to put that little bridge in? That they're gonna do that this summer, aren't they?
Yeah, Devin Eaton said it's already ordered. It's ordered to keep up construction. I thought he told me that it would be after school gets out. I thought he said July. I can't remember, 60 days or there's a 60-day window to do it. Obviously, they need to let everybody know.
Well, I was just thinking about it the other day when I was crossing that bridge. I mean, we're gonna have
Oh, yeah.
the middle road messed up. We
Shut
got
it down.
Route 1 messed up, and now we're gonna close off that end of the old stage
We've
road.
always got East Edge. Always got East Edge.
Yeah. It's-
How long is that project gonna take?
I thought he said they had a 60-day window to allow for the road closure for the bridge replacement. Doesn't mean they'll be done.
Okay, 60 days.
So I think the idea was to do it while school's out and blah, blah, blah. He's supposed to let us keep us, informed. It's been a really challenging time with everything with DOT and roads.
I mean, pretty soon we're gonna start to feel like we're on an island, you know?
You can't get there from here.
That's right. That's right. That's it, a nutshell. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Jeff. Codes officer, nothing, right? Okay. And I got an EMS report, and I'm gonna give you the Reader's Digest version. He's in Washington DC. There was 16 calls, 14 patients, and 11 were transported. One of the sirens is not working on Rescue 2, but the other siren is. They're looking for a used one because they don't make that siren anymore. And they're gonna have a mental health training on April 30th. They need volunteers to be, no. They need volunteers to be the patients. I'm kidding. Okay. Additionally, Bill Longley has been registered for an EMS safety officer course, and Zach Miller will be taking an EMS mental health officer course. Okay. Fire chief's report. Sean.
29 calls so far this month. 22 or 23 were from the storm at the beginning of it. And obviously our fun event on Sunday early morning kept us steady for most of that morning. But thankfully they're in jail, so.
I'm glad they didn't burn the old townhouse.
Yeah. Just, yeah.
That would really upset me.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that some press finally got some information so that I could actually put something out there, because the amount of questions and things I get from townspeople Monday, I can't, it's a criminal investigation, I can't answer those questions. Call the fire marshal, they can't help you. But anyway, I've gotten one quote back from company referenced the compressor replacement, and they also did the finance option that I asked for. I'm still waiting. I've got 3 others that I've reached out to and waiting for. I put a bug in EMA's ear, and then I put more of a fist in his face about it, trying to get him to hustle up with it and see what we can do.
Did you call that outfit I sent you?
Yeah, that one's only 2 years old, newer than the one we have. It's the same. I mean, it's the same. It's identical compressor to what we have. It's the same age.
Yeah,
I would just be
they were
concerned
very
with the
highly
age.
recommended by 2 or 3
Yeah.
different supply houses, and they
Yeah.
got a 5-star rating on Better Business Bureau.
Yeah.
So what would EMA, you meant the county EMA?
County EMA,
So what
yeah.
would they, what do they?
I'm trying to get him to find us a grant money for it.
Oh, I see,
so,
okay.
I mean,
Yeah, we would like that too.
yeah, I mean, 31,000 is this quote.
Is it?
Um,
What are finance options? What I meant was, are they over 12 months or are they over 20 years?
I have just look at it. Finances on the back, quotes on the front.
One more.
Our compressor is pretty much. I thought it was going to be able to be limped along, but we tried it Sunday morning, and I mean, there's not enough time in the day to wait for that thing to build pressure, so it's not even. I told the guys, I said, might as well just kill it. We're not even going to bother trying to use it. So
So it's the compressor itself
the
that's bad.
compressor is not. It's the diaphragm and the compressor. The problem is we've sunk so much money into that compressor over the last few years. It's just not. The company itself, they told me, he said, I mean, we can try rebuilding it again. It's not. It's just. I think we're trying to fix a sinking ship, and it's just not worth it.
I checked with one of my divers, and he said he paid, out to Johnson's, he pays $5 a tank to get them filled. So even having to run them to Brunswick and back, we could fill a lot of tanks.
Well, we have to. It has to be NFPA approved though. It's different than diving tanks.
I know.
We have to get air that's. Bureau of Labor even checks for that.
I was looking at that online, and
Yeah.
I was looking at the same compressor that I found that sold for $29,000.
Yeah.
The exactly same compressor sold to a dive shop was $14,200. The only difference was it had that sticker on it.
No, it's ridiculous. There's hoops that we have to jump through, and there's stuff the state's working on. I hope doesn't ever pass, but that if it passes, it's gonna screw some of these small departments, including us.
Do you know how much we have spent on that? Or do you know what the total?
We could go back and look.
No, I mean this current, like the other day they were here for.
Oh yeah, no, it was. When I had a quote for it for like $1,000 or something. But it was months ago. Remember we've been waiting on parts for like 8 months.
Yeah.
What exactly is wrong with the compressor? What are they replacing?
They did a diaphragm kit on it. They did one of the cylinders, gaskets. I could show you the slips of what they did, but
It just seems strange that this one's only got, 100 and some hours on it,
Yeah.
and the one across the river's got 1,400 hours on it, it's still running. I mean, it just
Yeah.
seems impossible to me to
yeah, tell them.
to think that this thing can't be fixed.
And how old is it?
This one, 18.
18 years.
Do you know how many hours?
I've actually even contemplated having another company come look at this one, but I just
How
we
many
don't
hours?
want to spend more money on it. It's not even 200 hours.
Yeah, that's the part that's
I know. I know.
that's hard though, John, because if we bought it new 18 years ago, and we had
Right.
less than 200 hours on it. Why? I mean, it's a hard, and yet nobody can work on it. I mean, no.
We've used this. So I checked. We've used the same company since we've
Yeah.
that. So I mean, I can certainly ask another company to come look at it, but
It's 18 years old?
But
Yeah.
so it's not
It's
10 it's not 10
like
hours a
10
year.
hours a year.
Yeah, I mean, we're just
yeah,
So these look like there are no interest options. Am I
that's
reading
what they
these?
sent me.
No. But did you read them right? Like if you pay $6,000 one year,
About 7
you have
hours a year.
5 years at $6,000, right?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm sorry. What?
That's about 7 hours a year.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just offer Bath a few bucks for.
Well, the problem is we're tied to Bath's schedule. I can't get air from Bath 24/7. I have to do it when they're available. So we're tied to that. That's the biggest issue. And the problem, like right now, we don't have it ourselves. So it's starting to discourage people from training on it. And that's really a problem in my
How
book.
much would it cost to buy 10 extra air tanks so that you could wait?
But why would you want to keep empty air tanks? Keep them full all the
No,
time.
that's what I'm saying. Buy 10 extra ones, fill them
No,
up.
that's not.
Then you'd have a window. You might be able to go a week and wait.
Yeah,
for
but
that
that's
schedule.
10. So that's
There's
10
gotta
one.
be- There's got to be a way out of this other than spending $31,000
No,
for a compressor that's going to run 7 hours a year.
There is. We'll get it covered under grant money. That's just
that-
we're gonna have to be patient. I know. I've almost accepted that we're probably gonna have to just wait.
Well, okay. So those are questions, right? When did this go off? When did this? This has been a year or so, right?
we're almost a year that
Almost
we've been
a year.
able to use it now.
No, we're not trying to. We're just.
No, I know.
You called the other day. It's like no, we can't go to.
I know.
We obviously, if you find some money, matching money, grant money, I mean,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
steal 30 grand somewhere, it's,
I mean, if you think I've really contemplated having somebody else look at it, but
Is this when you get the NFID, whatever it is,
Yeah.
sticker on it, it does?
we have to have that certified every year. We pay to have, that's one of the things that I pay to have done every year.
$14,000 diving compressor and put that sticker on it.
what, so what would the,
So you can
would you say another company, what would it be? Or, I mean, how much, no, I mean, are there other?
No idea.
I don't know, we don't know anything about these
I
companies.
mean, we have other companies that I know that service stuff like that. I couldn't even tell you what. I mean, I could have another company come in and look at it, but I just like sticking with one that's been working on it all along. But the guy that worked on it last year doesn't work for the company anymore, so these are new guys. So
Oh. Well, if it's like the furnace,
right, I know.
you and I had this
I
conversation.
know.
I forgot to say that too, the furnace is working
Yeah.
Is it?
right now.
Finally got all the pieces?
Right now. Of course, I think it's what Sean's going through with the compressor. Kim was
Yeah.
there that day. Kim knows what I spoke to the guy.
Yeah.
Kim knows how I was. And but it's always like you ought to be thinking about getting a new furnace.
What's the brand of this compressor?
American Air Works.
American Airworks.
That's the company that I was sending this stuff to.
And the other area departments are equally
Bath
as
is the only
inconvenient. Brunswick, you can't do it.
I
in
don't want to go
Brunswick.
to Brunswick. We're gonna go to the closest.
Do they have the same?
But
kind?
so us, Georgetown, Dresden, and Arousek, we don't. Right now, all four of us don't have a compressor. So I've also explained that to EMA. I'm like, listen, find me a regional grant that I can tack on Georgetown and Arousek to it.
So Dresden, they don't fill tank. They can't do it either.
Dresden goes to Wisconsin.
I see.
Arousek, nothing against them, but they only have 4 air packs. So they're not, we're going to Arousek when there's a fire, so I'm not concerned with that.
Yeah.
And Georgetown.
Not to hammer away at a point, but that company that I sent him, it was American Airworks, I think that I sent you
Yeah. It's the same compressor.
They have used compressors that they'll give you a 2-year warranty on
Yeah.
for $5,000.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it just.
Is it worth contacting that company to see if they have a service company that's?
I'm pretty sure it's the same company.
It's the same
American
company.
Airworks is where they get the parts for our
I
compressor.
mean, it is sad. You go down there and look.
I know.
I went down there and looked at it.
Yeah.
Tommy looked at it. I looked at it one day. And to look at it, of course, not knowing anything about it, looks pretty nice.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's quite even. It looks pretty nice. It's hard to believe that. It's just like everything junk. Oh, I'm sure O-rings and
I mean, it's
things.
dried out,
Is
it's
it-
time, not used.
Is that what they do? Is it like rebuild?
Yeah, that's what when they told me that they had to rebuild the cylinder and what. I mean, that's what I assume. It's all.
It won't build up enough air pressure or something?
Yeah, it won't get to the proper pressure.
Yeah.
When they got back from the fire, Donnie started it, and it ran for almost an hour, and it went up 100 psi. That should go up 4,000 psi in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, these are they're very high pressure tanks.
Oh yeah, 4,500 psi.
45
So-
yeah.
Part of the problem may be that it only does run only 7 hours a year. You know, maybe if the thing would run more often, it's like anything else, especially if it's got diaphragms and they get
Yeah.
dry, they crack. You know, the more you
Not running though is a good problem because that means we don't have a lot of fires.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, but training is.
No, I know.
Hampered.
That's, yeah,
Well, keep pursuing money.
yeah. Well, I'll keep going. But
Think
Do
outside
you,
of the box.
one more quick thing to follow up on. Do you get to charge? Don't you get to charge for those fires? Isn't that?
So I chatted with the fire marshal. They're gonna probably ask me for a bill.
Yeah,
because
'cause
this will
it's-
go to court.
Yeah.
But who are you gonna? Who
I
do
know.
you know what I mean?
I know.
It's one thing if we go to a fire and it's an at-fault fire and somebody
Yeah.
negligently,
Yeah.
they didn't fix their furnace and it blew up or whatever, and they knew about it. Well, then I could charge that person and their insurance for that fire.
Yeah.
But these are 3 arsons.
Right. I was thinking
So,
of that. There's
you
a
know-
36-year-old individual there or something. Somebody's,
Yeah.
if it costs the town
I
$5,000.
know. So, well, they're probably gonna. I'm suspecting they're gonna ask me, Chief, what did it cost you for the 2 fires that you responded to? Give me a breakdown of the bill. And
Yeah.
whether we see a penny, I'm not gonna hold my breath.
Yeah,
But I'm
let's face it, they probably aren't all millionaires.
No, right. I remember we went through this a few years ago and changed
Yeah.
it so like when the Auburn truck rolled over
Right.
there's things that you can charge.
Right.
These are
Yeah.
not accidents.
Yeah, exactly. No, and I'm all for it, and I'm sure they'll, this
Well,
is
you know
going to
what?
be a drawn out thing.
If it
Anyway.
How
doesn't
much
go-
damage did it do to the old schoolhouse?
Glenn and I told them that this water district needs to be torn down.
Probably the
It
best
needs to
thing
be torn down, and I want to see it. I told them, I said, within a month, I want to see it boarded up, so that nobody can. The problem is it's wide open, so any other kid can go in there. Oh, it's still there. I'm going to burn it down now. No, because that just ties up resources. That's
It's a
not.
brick building, how'd they get it on fire? They must
There's
have.
a couch. They
broken
let a
it.
couch. There's a couch in there. There's still appliances in there. Couch.
Wow. I
But,
didn't think there was anything in it.
yep.
You
So-
want to show
Anyway, it's sad. It is very sad, but
It
just
just
it needs
seems
to be.
strange that they did one in Woolwich, then they went to Dresden, then they
Well,
went
we're-
back to Dresden.
We're lucky. We're lucky that they were caught as fast as they did, and they didn't go anywhere else. Because
Was, I don't get the whole thing. I mean, do they just get drunk and say, hey, let's go burn down the town or what?
pretty much.
But they must have planned this ahead.
Oh, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that they knew. They just randomly picked houses that were vacant.
Weren't they the same individuals that did what you told me about at midnight?
Oh yeah.
So,
oh, yeah.
I
They
mean,
went
nobody's
on a
talked,
rampage.
they haven't talked about that in the paper.
I know.
but
I
that-
know. They went on a rampage.
Okay, so obviously, and I think you
All
told,
three fires were set within, we'll probably say 15, 20
right,
minutes.
but I think you told me that they,
Yeah.
I thought you said they eluded or evaded
Yeah.
Brunswick or whatever.
Yeah.
No, this
So did
started,
they have
Oh,
some
yeah.
kind of a connection to these places or?
No
yeah, they
idea.
set them on fire.
Yeah.
Okay,
No
okay.
idea. But
All right.
anyway, that's what I've got.
Anything else?
I don't think. I thought there was one other thing, but I can't remember. I think that's it. But
Were you talking about safety work?
oh, safety work. Yeah, thank you. Jesus. We're about halfway with our safety work stuff. A lot of it's personnel stuff, so I've got to get. It's hard to get 30 people in here at the same time and get everything. So we're getting there. Fit testing, yeah. There's a few other things that I'm waiting for as far as paperwork goes, but yeah, we're about halfway. The emergency, we're gonna have an emergency action plan for the building.
Yes.
That'll be done soon, and then Kim and I just chatted about it, but we'll have them do a safety meeting. I don't think it'll be very in depth, but it'll cover what they want us to do. So.
Okay.
Are we up to date on all our fire extinguishers?
I haven't. No, we were talking about that earlier. So we'll probably. They don't usually come until like first part of June,
I
usually
think
in
we
May.
have one
So.
over the church.
Well, the one in the basement was,
No, I know. Yeah, I've got a few downstairs that I need to have done.
Oh, you
So
do?
I'm thinking we'll just have them come in first part of next month and do it. I don't want to have them come in as special.
No. Well, I think I know there's
do
a
it.
deadline, but as long as you're scheduled and doing
Right.
it, and, I mean, we heard that it wasn't super enforcement, it was more about getting it done.
Oh yeah, it's not for and I'm not afraid that I'm curious to see. When we get into May, we'll know if we're going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But we might have to get an extension on a couple things. But I know that we'll be fine with that. So
Is there a company now around that will refill fire extinguishers? I got a 5-pound one I used recently. I'd like to get it refilled.
I just think the extinguisher company, I guess. But
Okay. Nobody comes. There used to be.
we don't. They used to do it in house, but we don't do that. No, because we don't. We can't certify it. So we
No,
don't.
but I mean, there used to be a company that came around and picked them up, but I haven't heard of them.
Yeah, the company that comes in and does it that we can have out of Auburn. Is it Fire? Whatever the company is. They.
Probably cheaper to go buy them.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
they're not
Okay.
too bad, but
Hey,
Thank
David,
Yes,
this, ever since the storm, most of you know that I was without a phone for 11, 12 days. And it took an act of Congress from some people to help me get my phone back.
I was going to ask you, did you get it
I finally got it yesterday.
yesterday? Yeah, Glenn called me and told me. So
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I put EMA on that. And I said that needs to be top priority. And
I mean, think about it. And 73 years old, I got all kinds of issues wrong.
yeah.
I got no cell phone up there most of the time. For some reason, when my landline went out, my cell phone got better. And I don't- but it still wasn't good. but-
Allison's working on it.
Yeah, but while the guy was there working on my phone, he advised me that he had one of 2 bucket trucks that Fairpoint has left. His is in 2006, and Fairpoint isn't buying any more bucket trucks. They're buying vans with ladders. He says it takes twice as long to do a service than it did with the bucket truck, which makes sense.
Consolidated, you mean?
Well,
Yeah.
which is Fairpoint.
Right. Phone company.
So he says that's one reason it takes so long to get around is because they have no equipment to work with.
Well, if it's any consolation, we didn't have a landline at my house for a while until they finally put a generator down. They put a generator down on the corner of Walker and Middle and Mountain Road. When they put
That
a
happened in
generator
a lot of
down there.
places. My landline was out too.
Yeah. So that's because they don't have any batteries. All those little buildings in town that are supposed to have batteries in them,
Mhm.
there are no batteries in them.
So who do we go to fix this problem, I guess? You know.
I don't know. I don't know if you go right to the PUC. I mean, do you end up going right to the utility? Right to
PUC,
I mean, not to say it the wrong way, but it's not. That's what I mean.
Oh, I agree.
I think the PUC. There's a service. It's a public utility, and I agree with you. I mean, there were some. It took days for those guys to get around, and I watched them. I see it all. It took with generators for the batteries that are up in the boxes, and I thought that was kind of strange too. They kind of got around to it, but
The generator that was out in front of my place, they set it up, filled it up with gas, and never came back.
no, never come back.
And as soon as it ran out of gas, it was out, done,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And they never came back to fill it up.
Mm.
So it sounds like we're
They
going
were
back
hoping
to.
you'd get out to it.
It wouldn't done me any good because I'd have a landline even with it was going. But it seems like we're going back to the old times when we had. Remember we had this same problem before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
What do
you
you
gotta
mean?
understand that most of your landline phone companies are running on a shoestring right now because there's not. Most people have gotten rid of their landlines. I mean, I keep one just because I don't trust my cell phone. But but I can't imagine that they have a lot of customers.
Well, they're going to have less.
Yeah. Well, at the county, they assured me that the new tower is going to make everything better up your way.
Okay.
Better for firemen, but not
Better-
not better for the cell company.
So at least when your house gets on fire, somebody will see it.
He was getting himself a fire truck, so he said,
I'll go up to the station, grab one.
All right, anything else for Sean? Okay. MDOT agreement for culvert replacement, it's kind of a moot point at this point.
I know the rest.
It really sort of seems like it's a moot point. They went ahead and doing it anyway, and I don't even.
So why don't we just move on?
Yeah.
So we're not gonna sign it, they just do whatever they wanna do anyway.
We didn't sign the last one.
I know. All right, well.
Nobody ever
good for
follows.
that.
They don't ever follow up.
I don't know why they even sticking to it then.
Anything under old business other?
No?
Good.
I don't remember hearing who got the bids for the roof and when they're gonna do it.
Well, we did. It was what ABL roofing.
ABL roofing,
And it's contingent
So
upon.
is it a roofing company?
Oh yeah, but it's contingent upon town meeting approval.
yes.
We have to have that article passed, and then the way we worded the article, if it passes, they could literally start.
Start right away.
That we gotta remember that. Like if it
Yeah.
passes, notify them immediately and
Yep.
Right,
get it to work. Because I think you needed a few weeks lead time, 2 or 3 weeks.
right. So we could, I think we worded the article so that we can take money out of undesignated surplus and then replace it after July 1st. So that we could get it going immediately.
Right.
But these rainstorms keep coming, the patches, and they don't last.
And the wind.
Okay, signing the deed of the George Wright Road.
I moved that, well, the whole select board signed it.
We're all
right?
gonna sign it.
I moved that the board signed the deed on the George Wright property.
Second.
Okay, those in favor of that? Okay, we're gonna need somebody to witness our signatures to.
I'll witness it.
So Debbie under the bus. Have one witness. I might have to use your pen, mine's acting up.
We
Your
just need.
pin's not working?
No, well, it's weird, I can't get it done.
Ha.
See,
Now, and Kim's gotta notarize it, that's why I can't have her be the witness.
is it just one spot?
Yep, it's just
Yes.
one
Okay,
spot.
there you go.
Yep. And,
And so as far as we know, will it be a residence?
Well, it has to be, it's in a residential zone.
Yeah.
So we know it's in the residential zone, we are selling it for full listing price, which is good for the town.
And we're selling it to Thompson Mobile Homes, and they do a wonderful job whenever they put anything in. So they'll probably more likely gonna put a double wide in there with skirting, and they always put in driveways and the whole work. I mean, they do a great
They
job.
do modulars, they also do, I already forgot. Mobiles, modulars,
Yeah, witness.
and, so, you know,
Any line?
just witness the ones with the signatures.
You want us to sign that we signed it, they would know they're.
Well, there is a blank fill, don't forget, Allison didn't sign, so.
Yeah, Allison.
We'll look weird if you witness her signature.
All we need is 3 signatures, so we're all set.
So
Did
real quick,
everybody sign the signature folder?
I signed it, did you guys
Oh,
all
there was
sign it?
one and
You all set?
I think they're fine.
that first one still needs a lot of people. You and David need to do that first one.
The EMS one?
No, the one in your right hand.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I apologize. No, we signed it.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
whole bunch of signatures.
Okay,
All right,
sorry.
maybe you're right, maybe I didn't.
Okay, does anybody have anything else?
Only a real quick thing. I didn't touch on the furnace. They did fix it. They obviously came and put multiple parts on. We do have heat and hot water. If you go by the tech, and Jim back me up right or wrong, of course he's like, you gotta be looking into a furnace. I don't know who to believe anymore. They cleaned it, they did everything to it, they've got parts on it, and now it's working. Now I don't mean to imply that it's good for 20 years, but we're dealing with different technicians today. And so I just want to tell you what they did. Did you hear anything I didn't? I mean,
No, but I haven't paid the bill yet either because I think it's ridiculous that they fix something for one day and it breaks and then we have to
right.
have
They
it
sent us a
all
bill for
right
every
back.
single time they've come out, and every
No.
single time they put a part on it. The technician, I gave him a hard time the other day. His attitude is, wow, we have to wait and call tech support for the furnace company, and we only do what they tell us. But this is just a new parts installation game, you know?
That's the thing. I mean, it used to be, because I grew up in the heating business. My father put in the first pressure fed burner in the city bath, and he would actually manufacture parts. You had to get down to his lathe and make something to fix the furnace. Nowadays they don't do that. If they take a purple part off, they got to put a purple part on. If they get a blue part, they don't know how to put the thing on. You know?
All right.
It's basically, I don't know.
Most of the good.
Second.